Okay, so I saw this new pickaxe from Fortnite, and the description of it read, Steel Shadow, strike from the shadow's edge, part of the Lone Shadow set. Introduced in Chapter 2, Season 2. And I was like, whoa, that's pretty ominous, sounds pretty amazing, so I think I'm going to build it. So that's basically why I'm here today. Let's get into making the Steel Shadow pickaxe in Fortnite.
They lie, they all around you, and they know about what you did in the steeple of your heart. Yeah. They know.
Okay, so I just printed out a full-scale image of what I'm going to be making throughout this whole project. So I am going to start by cutting out this main square piece. It's an axe, basically. And the axe, two blades are attached to this middle box. So I'm going to make the middle box first, and then I'll work my way out.
Fake people, yeah, I'm sick of.
Okay, so I think that's the main box just about finished. I have all the different pieces. I think I'm going to go outside and glue them together now.
You did what you had to. It's not right to live a life of mannequins against the wall. Yeah. They know, moving quick, you gotta. Hey. We know, yeah, we're sick of all the fake people. Yeah, I'm sick of all the fake people. Yeah, I'm sick of.
Okay, so real quick update again. I've thought about this for about like 10 minutes, how I'm going to make the blade go from such a drastically big area to really small and still keep it like a smooth, sleek. I think I want to do cut out this exact blade shape out of 10 millimeter, and then cut out two more that are like ending here, and then I'm going to use that will be thick enough here, and I'll sand it down. So I think that's going to work. And the only thing is I'm going to have to make two of these. So, whatever I figure out on this one, and even if it's really long, I have to make a second one. Which is why when I do dual pickaxes normally in other videos, I don't like to make two, because it really is hard to make some of these things twice because they take a long time.
Just love me harder, have no mercy on me, just tell me louder. If you're loving me, just love me harder, have no mercy on me, tell me louder. If you're loving me.
Okay, so I finished the basic sanding just to a pointy shape. There's still more sanding to do, but I'm going to make the second one, get them to the exact same place, and then move forward further.
Later.
Okay, so I had to cut this slit to be able to get it into the saw. I spent a long time trying to figure out how to make this kind of area look good. I really don't think it came out amazingly, but I kind of tried to do the best I could. I'm not really sure how you would even try to do something like this. It's just so hard to fit any sander or Dremel or anything in, so I tried to just kind of round it out. I'm just going to go glue this back together, do slight weathering. There's a couple of nicks on the blade, and then maybe I'll glue this stuff together. Okay, so this main kind of blade part is all done. I think it looks really amazing. Now let's start to move on to this top little cap here, and then all the detailing and stuff on the handle. So I'm going to start up here and work my way down.
It's not a game, it's a Ryyzn.
Okay, so I just made all these pieces as you've seen, and I'm going to glue them all together and then put them back on the handle, and then I'll kind of work my way down to the very end of the handle where there's all the grips and all those different parts. Okay, so I have all these strips cut out. It might be kind of confusing, but if you download the templates, hopefully it'll make a little more sense. You basically take all these strips and you glue them together like this, and then you slide them over your dowel or your pipe or whatever you're using. It has to be 1 inch. The width of your pipe or dowel has to be 1 inch, because that's basically what I'm using. So you'll need to get something like that to how all the templates work. Basically, there's all these different strips that you wrap around, and you have to wrap them around with certain spacing in between each one. So download this big full-scale reference image that I created, and you can use that to help you if you're gonna make this.
Don't be suspicious.
Get back here with my yarn! Get back here!
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
The next day.
Hey, I just got finished filming the spray painting B-roll. Did you finish cleaning up? Oh, hey, you're back. But what are you doing? It doesn't look like... Well, what are you doing? You're just sitting there. You didn't say anything about cleaning. I've just been sitting here waiting for you to come back. By the way, what took so long? What are you Are you playing video games? Seriously?
So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
It's not a game, it's a Ryyzn.
Okay, so basically what just happened is I am painting this end part right here gray. It turned out kind of a little bit lighter than I was hoping, so I am going to do a second coat that's more closer to black, like a very slightly lightened down black. That's a little bit too light for my liking. This handle has not even been done at all. It's just kind of primed, and then this top part is painted. That is painted light silver, dark silver, and I even did a lighter silver on the edges of the blades just to kind of make it pop when you look at the edge and you can kind of see the definition. So once everything is dry, I'll keep moving on with the rest of the paint job. I'm just going to do a quick tutorial on how to do some easy weathering. So first, grab your paints. Then squirt a little bit of all of them onto your palette. Get your paper towel, and finally select your brush. First, let's do some white highlighting to make the edge of the blade pop. Now we dry the paint. Now I'll add white highlighting around this circle and also in the scars. Now let's move on to black. Again, I'm going to go into the cracks, also with this black, trying to show depth. Okay, now using a fan brush, I'm going to get black and brown and kind of do streaks up from the edges. I'm going to get very little and wipe it off, and kind of flick up. Now we're going to start kind of by doing similar techniques, but layering on brown colors for rust. So we'll put that in areas where we think water will build up and start to rust. So I want to put it in the corners, edges, and cracks. And all these colors you're adding, you're going to be putting on a lot and then wiping away and leaving it only in the parts that the paper towel can't really reach. Just put a ton on, really just slather it on everywhere. And then when I go to wipe this off, I'll get kind of a rust look. And you can kind of put more or less paint on depending on what kind of look you're going for. So let's continue with this with all different shades of browns and grays. We're just going to continue layering colors on and then wiping them away. This might kind of seem counterproductive, but it actually gets a really real looking effect. Now you can kind of keep doing this forever, but just kind of stop when you think it looks good or when you're happy with it. I don't think I'm quite done. I think there's kind of some more things I want to kind of put on here. Now those white lines in the corners that had seemed very harsh before are going to start kind of blend in with all this different colors we're adding. They'll start to look more natural than they did in the very beginning. One last little touch I want to add is that I'm going to make this area right here very dark and this area right here very light to try to kind of give some contrast. That light is reflecting off of the blades because they're at different angles. So I'll put a ton of white here and a ton of black here and then kind of wipe them off. Some of these things I'm doing are very, very slight, very, very little details that you don't have to really do if you want, but if you would like, you can. Some of these things you may not even be able to see on camera, because they are super teeny little things that you may not even notice when looking at it, but all together add to a really cool effect. Okay, so I think this is just about how I like it. I'm going to kind of do a similar thing to the rest of the build, and then we're going to be done. Okay, so one idea and many hours of work later, here it is, the Steel Shadow pickaxe from Fortnite. Super happy with how it came out. I have not actually done a pickaxe in quite a while, so this was kind of fun to do one of these again. Remember how much I love making pickaxes, they're super fun. If you'd like to make this yourself, you can go down into the description and print out the full-scale reference image I had, as well as templates for all the different pieces you'll need to construct this. Besides that, you'll need some EVA foam and some paint and some kind of handle, and that'll be it. You're set. You can spend a while and make this amazing project. Okay, that's all I have to say, so make sure to like the video, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.